The first time we sort of looked at getting the local community involved in Manuka Health was actually sat having a breakfast one morning on a weekend when I sort of said, what am I going to do about the workload that we've got at Manuka, and the idea came up that we could incorporate a work experience program for some of the less able-bodied people in the community here in Tiamutu. And sort of from there it's developed into what we've got today, where we've got a real good work training group where we see new faces and we see those faces build on experience here, and they go from the infancy stages right the way through to maturity and get jobs out in the community. Some have been employed here at Manuka Health, and others want to go to other places like McDonald's and Z filling stations and Firestone tyres. So yeah, it's great to see these things happening.
Manuka initially did not have a position for us to fill. They allowed us very generously to come on site, to work with their product, to gain experience for the individuals. And very quickly, the individuals established themselves as being particularly displaying perfection in detail, which then grew confidence between the employer and ourselves in the quality of work that we were able to produce. So therefore, then Manuka started to rely on us in certain aspects to be able to finalise certain detail in work, which then opened up the opportunity for employment for some of our individuals.
Yeah, quite a lot of the individual tasks that have got to be done here at Manuka Health are time-consuming and very precise. We've got a lot of cartons and bottles and pots and tubes and things that require individual labelling to the extent that we're doing 2,000 or 3,000 at a time. Our team that we had at that point were really busy bottling and labelling honey, and so we had to look at where we could find temporary workforce that could develop with the business, and so the light bulb lit at the breakfast table on the Monday morning. We met.
In order to replicate what we're doing here at Manuka Health, it's got to start with the leaders of both organisations sitting down, talking to one another honestly and clearly about what roles they're going to provide, so that you start on an understanding to start with, and then very gently introduce these things together.
I couldn't recommend it enough. What I would say is there are a few things that we maybe would have done differently. For instance, existing staff, make sure you have their buy-in. Tell them what's happening. Don't just have the staff turn up and it's all changed for them. I found that sometimes we had staff who initially were very hesitant. Once things were explained to them, we had their buy-in and it became a completely different working environment. No. Also, you have patience. These guys are just so lovely, and they will do anything for you, and they will do it well. That's another thing with their work ability and attention to detail is impeccable. But you do have to have a little bit of patience sometimes. And I think they give that to you. They've certainly taught me patience.
Yes, it's just people need to be introduced to the guys, because, like I say, I was in that stereotypical group where you sort of just they were over here and we were up here. So I used to think that we were normal and they weren't. So I don't know, just get them out, and we need to get rid of that stereotype of thinking that way, thinking that we're all better than them.
The secret of success here is really about working together, and with enthusiasm from Chris, bringing in all the team, and just teamwork. That's what it's all about, and enthusiasm for what we do.
I had to come and spend some time at Manuka to learn myself the information that I needed to transfer that education to the team that were attending. So I came down on days and on weekends, learned what I needed to learn, then the rest of my knowledge grew with the team as we were spending time here learning together on the products, on the required packaging process. Then obviously I was gaining more knowledge to then pass on to others.
And then if things go wrong, you've got to talk about it honestly, so you can stop it and then nothing continues on. And if things go right, agreed, you still got to stop and talk about it as to why it's gone right.
There are several factors in that work environment which, when you bring them all together, have been part of what's made it successful. And anyone going into that environment now, I think, would recognise that there are very clear guidelines, very clear expectations. And if anybody is fooling around or not really wanting to be part of it, then they will be very quickly informed of the requirements, and if they don't want to be there, they're gone from that environment. So this is part of being real about work. It's not something that we can partake of and just when we feel like it, or you know, as a temporary thing. So there's a real commitment expected in terms of what the groups and the individuals are doing at Manuka Health. And I guess I'm talking particularly about here the work experience that's going on there for some young people.
I've been working here for 2.5 years.
My name is Nathan, and I make the boxes up.
Having a job at Manuka Health has sort of changed things for me, and it's been a lot better for me. I'm enjoying the environment, I like working here. Before I started working here, I had another job as an office cleaner, cleaning an office building, and when I got made redundant from that job, it was very hard to find something else to replace it. So I came across this place, and I've been working here ever since, for the last 2 or 3 years, and it's been quite good working here.
I like working at Manuka Health. Then we're working on the labels on and doing short breaks and utilising.
We get approached by parents and residential carers just informing us of the huge changes they've seen in these individuals since they've joined this program. Parents are absolutely over the moon that their child is able to experience and develop in this way.
The way I got to know and got to learn about the guys, and that is being dispatched, a lot of the times we might be waiting on a product that takes it's time consuming that we don't have, and the guys will finish it off for us. And effectively we would not be able to get that order out if it wasn't for the guys. So you're seeing what they do for us. I don't know, they do have a very, very special role here.
We have one gentleman that joined us and has now gone on to become full-time with Manuka Health. His name's Calvin, and he's become a really special friend to me. He was recently sick, so Hayley and I will happily go and visit him at his home. We get thank you cards from his mother, and I've spoken to his mother Nancy several times, who just says that, you know, she can't believe how kind we are to Calvin here at Manuka Health. That's really changed his life. He's here at 7:30 every single morning. He has his little cleaning routine, and he leaves at 4 every afternoon. Christmas parties, he comes on our Christmas parties, and we take his mum Nancy with us occasionally. So yeah, Calvin's just another team member to us now, but he's always got a smile in the morning and his little quirky ways that make us smile. So he's just become such an important member that the place would not be the same without Calvin at all.
I like to be working, than just staying at home and doing nothing, and I rather to be with these great groups of people because they're really good and quite friendly and that. it's only just 1 day a week, but it gets me out doing things during the week.
They had never had any work experience. They had generally left school, they were in day services, and they did not realise what they needed to do in order to hold a job.
I like Chris because Chris asked me to keep those 2 girls eyeing them.
I can so remember how shy you were.
Yeah.
And now I've seen such a change in you as a person that I can remember how shy you were.
Yeah.
And I see you down at Manuka and it's like there's this ownership. It's, you know, I don't see shy Tracy moving around Manuka.
Yeah.
I see Tracy who knows what she's doing and has somewhere where she belongs, and I hear you joking with people, and yeah, and I think that's really nice.
And during the visit, the board actually went down to see the guys and saw the contribution they were making to Manuka Health's business, which was awe-inspiring to the chairman, Dr. Ray Thompson, and all his colleagues on the board. In fact, the rest of the day was spent discussing what a benefit it was to the company and to see the development of these people. They had individually met the team that was involved in the work over the last couple of years, but never sort of jointly met with the operation. So yeah, it was a fantastic experience for them, and even at the following board meeting the next month, there was a lot of praise given to the
ones that play or work here. They go to the sports pub and we watch a game over there, like at the Te Muru Sports, because some play in a team and then they play, like Chris is like in the coach. Chris here, he's one of the coaches and teaches the ones for the team that plays in the TA that work here.
This project is one of the ways of actually helping community work with us. And it's not about leaving employers or individuals standing alone supporting a person with a disability. It's like a joint project. It's together we'll build community. And I think this is what has happened with our relationship with Manuka Health. We have truly had real relationships building that have gone into natural supports where it's no longer just about employment, it's about young people getting down to the rugby club, and just through some of their relationships that they've built at Manuka Health, we've got people who are then taking it further and they're advocating and doing particularly what we've already done with those people working at Manuka Health, helping them to feel comfortable, solid and supportive of the people that we support there and that are employed there. So it kind of starts to snowball. And that's what we want. We want to keep influencing community, not just other employers, but these are ways of doing it. It's about people starting to pick up this mantle quite naturally and not necessarily have to be in a paid situation or an employment situation. But it's saying to someone, do you want to come to the movies on Saturday night? Or, hey, how about let's going for a walk at lunchtime? Whatever it might be. So it's about those normal, everyday things that happen when you are working alongside someone.
I like working with Manuka Health.
Working at Manuka makes me feel great.